Well, folks, we got a late video dropping for you guys, and I mean late in terms of what time it is for me. I have no idea what time it is for you. If you're on the other side of the world, it's early AM. Either way, the reason we had to get this video out is because this deals with yet another Nintendo Direct rumor. Now, this rumor might not be specifically for a Direct. It might be for something like an Indie World. And that is why we got to get this video out now, because the last Indie World happened on a Tuesday and was announced on a Monday. So if we don't get this video out now, then there's no point for the video to exist. So the video has to be out now in case it actually is announced in the morning and it is an Indie World. But what are we talking about? And I'm not saying it will be announced, by the way, in the morning. I'm not going there. I actually don't know that it is an Indie World. I don't know anything. It's a rumor. But the rumor is coming from somebody, and there's some exciting implications from this rumor, especially if it ends up being true, about a potential general Nintendo Direct. So, without going deeper, I just remind you quick, we're giving away to two different people a game of choice for any modern day platform. You got to be 18 or older to enter, and you go through the link down in the pinned comment or the description. And let's go ahead and get into it. So this rumor actually comes from another fellow YouTuber, and I know you're going to be thinking, did we just go through this and beat him up? So I get it. He was running a social experiment. No, that's not what this is. This is coming from somebody who actually is very against what beat 'em ups did, and is, look, I don't even want to say it. I'm just going to play the clips. So here are the clips from his video.
Lately, there has been a theme of lies, fake leaks, misleading information. So I'm just going to come out and say it. This is not speculation. I know that there is another Nintendo Direct this week. Okay, but just to be super clear, before you get your hopes up for Metroid Prime 4 and the new 3D Mario and the Animal Crossing tease, it's not that Direct. But that doesn't mean it's not worth getting excited for. What's going on, everybody? It's Agam Switch Force. Bada boom, bada bing. All of a sudden, the tables flip, and I've got the info. I'm telling you that the partner showcase that just took place was phase one of a 3-phase Nintendo Direct program, okay? Everybody is eager for the next thing, and nobody's thinking that there's a Direct anytime soon. They're thinking, okay, September, October, Mario's 40th. But there's actually one very soon. It's right in your near future, okay? And this is not the Direct where you're going to see Metroid Prime 4. This is not the Direct where you're going to see if there's a holiday game. This is not the Direct where you're going to see release dates for the upcoming titles that we want release dates for. But there still are some very good things in here, and there still will be games that you will want to play this week, at least I think. There's one that I really want to play this week, and I'm spacing out waiting for it, okay? So there's some games that could come out in September. At this point, I don't think Metroid Prime 4 is one of them. But if you think about how Nintendo is going to go through things, right? If they're not doing the big Metroid Prime 4 and the big new game Direct this week, then when would that Direct be, right? Just think about it. Think about it logically. Think about what's happening. And think about when the release schedule sort of stops. We know that there's a Direct, I know that there's a Direct, I'm telling you, this week, and it doesn't have any of those dates in it. But what can you get excited for this week? All right, so we've got a presentation this week, and like I said, I'm spacing out for one of the games that I'm very excited about. But you're going to see other titles that have been announced for other platforms also coming to this platform, and you're going to see a demo. A demo, I'll give you that. What are you expecting to see at the Direct this week? Are you pumped and primed for how Nintendo is planning this? Do you believe in the system they've set up? Do you trust Nintendo? If you trust Nintendo, you're in good hands, I think. I believe so. I think so. You're in my hands right now for this week, though, so I know you're safe for that.
So yeah, that was Switch Force, and it's his rumor. So this is very much a rumor. We don't know what's happening here, but what I will say is, he talks about things. There's a few interesting facts he talks about. Well, facts. A few interesting facts about his rumor that he talks about. One of them is that one of the games in this supposed event comes out this week. Another game's going to be getting a demo. And there's going to be games coming from other platforms to Nintendo's platforms. That, okay, cool. In terms of like games that are already announced for other platforms, they'll now be announced for Nintendo's platforms. That's what he said. And On top of that, this is not going to be a general direct. This isn't going to be the big one that has all the big Nintendo first party announcements. And he mentions it's part of a 3-phase plan. Phase 1, clearly partner showcase last week. Phase 2, whatever's happening this week. And phase 3, probably a general direct. And could it possibly be 3 weeks in a row? Last week, this week, next week, and next week being a general direct before we get to Gamescom. But we're not going to dive too deep in that part because, again, we got to get this first segment true first before we worry about the 3-prong plan. And so I think, and this is just my personal opinion, that it's not actually a direct this week. I think it's an indie world. And I think his words, if you pay attention, are very clear. Calling it a direct could be a quote-unquote misdirect to protect sources and could be an indie world, especially when he talks about a game coming out this week. I looked at the calendar. The only games coming out this week are indie games. So that's one thing. We haven't had an indie world since August of last year. That's right. It's been basically a year since we even had an indie world. And on top of that, there's supposed to be a new demo and games that are announced for other platforms coming over, and indie games could fit the bill for all of this. I don't know that it could be another partner direct. It could be something. The bottom line is it's a rumor, so it could be nothing. But my bet, if I'm going to put anything on it, is a coin flip that this is real. And if it is real, that's what we're going to lean into. Now, he does have a tweet. He's really going all in on this, by the way. So now this is another thing as well. He's really like doubling down on this. He's going over on X as well. He says, Nintendo making me have to get up early again this week. And I joke, video incoming tomorrow. And by the time this video gets up, it will be technically tomorrow from when I made this tweet. Anyways, Partner Showcase 2.0, Indie World, something else. Rumors, baby, back in full force of the Switch variety. It's kind of a bad pun, but point is that I do think this is probably going to be an indie world, and I think he's being coy because he's trying to protect his sources. And in the end, that gets me excited for that 3-prong plan. But I don't want to dive too deep into that 3-prong plan again because we got to have the second prong come true first. And if it does, then we talk about the next. And again, the reason I'm getting this up now is because the last indie world happened on a Tuesday and got announced on a Monday, and it's going to be Monday. So there you go. I needed to get this out there now. We're going to kind of keep this video short and sweet. I do want to thank you guys for tuning in. It's been a lot of fun talking about this and going on the rumor train. We'll see what happens. I'm not saying it will be announced in the morning. I'm not saying it won't be Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm not even saying it's happening at all. But that's the current rumor, and I have to get it out now just in case. As for what we could see at it, this isn't gonna happen, but Silksong, I'm gonna keep trying to will Silksong getting news out of thin air. It is an indie game, but it's such a big one. I kind of feel like it'd be at a general direct. But hey, I'm gonna keep trying to I'm gonna keep predicting it until it happens. I don't think the game's vaporware. It's supposed to have a demo at Gamescom. So Silksong, anyone?